As a normal human, Lily had accidentally stumbled into this strange world and was now surrounded by a pack of wolves. She was so scared she went limp, using every last ounce of strength to scream. Hungry wolf lunged at her with its massive jaws wide open. The girl squeezed her eyes shut, ready for the end. Am I dead? Why don't I feel any pain? It turned out a leopard had killed the wolf and saved her. As it slowly walked toward her, she couldn't believe her eyes. Is this a dream? I've heard of dolphins saving people, but never a leopard. The next second, the leopard suddenly shifted into a human. Lily's eyes went wide in disbelief. Was this some kind of magic trick? And why wasn't he wearing any clothes? The leopard man slowly approached, admiring her stunning beauty. His face turned bright red and his heart began to race. So beautiful. How can a female be this beautiful? He then leaned in close to her chest, sniffing the natural scent of a human. Lily scrambled away in a panic, looking at him with confusion. Why? Why aren't you wearing any clothes? The leopard man cornered her. What's there to be afraid of? You're the only one who can see. Overwhelmed with stress, Lily twisted her ankle and stumbled to the ground. Could my luck get any worse? The young leopard took the opportunity to rush over and ask if she was okay. I'm fine, thank you for saving me. A huge smile spread across his face. My name is Parker and I am a leopard beast man. What species are you? Lily thought carefully. If she said the wrong thing, she could be burnt at the stake or eaten. She had to be smart. She asked him to guess how many species there were in this world. Parker listed off several, including an ape species. A light bulb went off in Lily's head. Humans evolved from apes, so claiming to be from the ape tribe shouldn't be too hard to pull off. Steeling herself, she lied and said she was from the ape tribe and had gotten separated from her people. The young leopard affectionately stroked her head. I found you, so you're mine now. With that, he shifted back into a leopard, nudged Lily onto his back, and raced through the jungle back to his tribe. Along the way, Parker decided Lily was far too beautiful. He gently touched her face and said, You're so pretty. Before he could finish, he grabbed a handful of mud and started smearing it all over her cheeks. Lily was furious, her face darkening. It turned out he was trying to prevent other desperate males from kidnapping her. When they reached a river, Lily tried to wash the mud off, but the young leopard stopped her, threatening that if she dared wash it off, he'd scratch up her face and make her ugly for real. Lily froze. He seemed vicious enough to actually do it. She pouted angrily. Fine, I won't wash it. Why are you being so mean? She obediently followed the leopard back to the tribe, planning to find a way to escape later. They returned to the tribe. And what Lily saw shocked and fascinated her. The men here were all incredibly handsome, but the women were less than impressive. They had upturned noses, squinty eyes, and big bellies, which they proudly showed off in crop tops. Everyone's gaze immediately fell on Lily with her perfect figure and delicate features. She would have captivated the entire tribe if not for the mud on her face. Seeing the stare, Parker let out a fierce roar. I found her, she is my female. Don't even think about getting any ideas. His words immediately enraged a woman who had a crush on him. This woman was considered the most beautiful in the tribe and many men wanted to be her partner. But Parker ignored her completely, dragging Lily away toward his home. As soon as they got there, Parker started roasting meat for Lily. She asked him if they had any rice. The word rice made him freeze for a second before he flew into a rage. Apparently, the females here loved rice, and many strong beastmen had worked themselves to death farming it. Lily couldn't believe that farming could kill a powerful beastman. Fine, I won't eat it. Why are you yelling at me? Parker immediately calmed down and gently stroked her head to apologize. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through Lily's ankle. Parker bent down, lifted her foot and saw that her injured ankle was swollen. He sniffed it with a pained expression. I'm sorry I didn't protect you well. The smell was something else. He quickly scooped her up and rushed to the medic's hut. The doctor thought her face had been stung by bees and that the mud was a pus. After Parker explained it was her foot, Lily's eyes welled up with tears from the pain. Looking incredibly pitiful, the young leopard gently stroked her cheek, comforting her. "Don't worry, it'll be better soon." The doctor, who was getting a mouthful of their public display of affection, cleared his throat and politely asked if she could take off her stocking so he could massage her foot and reduce the swelling. When Lily took it off, revealing her cute little foot, the doctor gasped, his eyes wide with shock. Seeing his expression, Lily panicked. "Oh no, did I blow my cover? Do beastmen not have feet like this?" The doctor cradled her foot with both hands, his eyes shining. "This foot is beautiful." He stared at it, mesmerized, and swallowed hard. Seeing this, Parker roared at him in a rage. "Stop staring! Hurry up and treat her!" The doctor snapped out of it and apologetically went to get some medicine. He brought back something that looked like ginger, which surprised Lily. Wasn't that for cooking? Could it really treat a sprained ankle? The doctor sliced the ginger and gently rubbed it on her injured ankle, and to her surprise, it felt incredibly soothing. At that moment, a sour feeling washed over Parker. He shoved the doctor away from Lily. The two glared at each other, the tension in the room thick enough to cut with a knife, insisting on applying the medicine himself. The third-wheeling doctor can only watch, wanting nothing more than to kick Parker out. Lily realized that the medicines here were actually just cooking spices. Her eyes lit up. She asked the doctor where she could find more. Wanting to please the beautiful girl, the doctor said she could take them all if she wanted. Parker was not happy about this. He stepped between them and snapped at the doctor. "My female doesn't need your gifts. I'll pay you with food." And for the record, she said she only wants me as a partner. The doctor's heart sank. Lily looked at his disappointed face and thought, did he fall for me too? Relationships in this world are so direct. The doctor handed a small pouch of herbs to Lily, and her face lit up. "Great, now my food won't be so bland." Parker snatched the pouch, scooped Lily up, and prepared to head back to his den. Before leaving, he warned the doctor not to get any ideas about Lily. The doctor just shot him a look of disdain and told him to get lost. Parker held Lily tightly, as if afraid someone would snatch her away the second he let go. Back home, Parker worried Lily was starving and immediately tore off a large chicken leg for her. Lily took a bite. It was dry and tasteless. She took out the pouch of spices from the doctor, asked Parker to crush them, and then sprinkled them on the roasted meat. The young leopard was stunned, afraid she'd be poisoned. "That's medicine. You can't eat it." Seeing how stubborn he was, Lily had to resort to her ultimate weapon, acting cute. "Oh, come on, just try it. Trust me, it'll be fine." Seeing her harmless, adorable face, the young leopard's heart nearly leaped out of his chest. How could he possibly refuse? He sprinkled the crushed spices on the meat, and a wonderful aroma filled the air. Lily was about to dig in when Parker snatched the meat away with lightning speed. He was going to test it for poison himself before letting her eat it. Lily watched him devour it with relish, her mouth watering so much that drool trickled from the corner of her lips. Parker ate with pure delight, the delicious flavor exploding on his taste buds. "This is amazing. This is the best thing I've ever eaten." After Lily had eaten her fill, she started feeding him. When they were done, Parker licked her hands clean, sending a warm feeling through her heart. Why is he being so nice to me? He even tested it for poison. Full and happy. Parker rolled around on the floor before suddenly sitting up, startling Lily. She thought he was about to make a move on her now that he was full. But he just wanted to go hunting to get food to pay the doctor. With that, he instantly shifted into a leopard and headed out. Lily found the whole thing magical. Well, when in Rome, she decided to stay for now and figure out how to get back to her own world later. Luckily, he also found her bag, and the things inside are about to become very useful. Lily pulled out a pair of lacy underwear. Who knew they'd come in handy? The young leopard picked them up, completely confused, and gave them a deep sniff. "It smells so good. Female." What is this? Lily's face instantly turned beet red as she snatched them back. My name is Lily, not female, and stop touching my things. The young leopard leaned in so close, he nearly kissed her cherry red lips. Your name is beautiful. He then wrapped his arms around her tightly, wanting to cuddle. To protect her first kiss, Lily quickly pushed his handsome face away. Parker couldn't win against her and finally let go. He looked her up and down, thinking her clothes were strange and would attract too much attention outside. He decided to make her a new outfit. Lily was surprised. She didn't think this simple-minded leopard knew how to sew. Parker puffed out his chest proudly, full of confidence. He asked her to spin around so he could take her measurements. As he watched her, his eyes were practically glued to her. Then, while measuring her, he gave her chest a little squeeze. She yelped and covered herself, backing away. What are you doing, you pervert? Parker pointed at himself, completely baffled. What's a pervert? I'm a leopard. He urged her to come back so he could finish. Lily was terrified of losing her virtue and refused to get any closer, saying she didn't want the clothes anymore. Parker was surprised that a little squeeze had upset her so much. He walked over and gently stroked her head, promising he would never squeeze her again. Only then did Lily agree to let him make the clothes. With the speed of a guy who's been single for 18 years, Parker whipped up the outfit in no time. Lily looked at the rough garment with its messy stitches and grimaced. Is this supposed to be a centipede? A real centipede would look better than this. Seeing her disgusted expression, the young leopard's face fell. Lily quickly forced a smile and pretended she loved it, saying she'd put it on after her bath. The word bath made Parker freeze. He suddenly became frantic, terrified she would go to the river and be seen by other males. The next second, he calmed down and offered to fetch water for her so she could bathe at home. Guys' mood swings are insane. Parker filled a tub for Lily but stubbornly refused to leave, even wanting to join her. He was promptly kicked out the door. Then he suddenly closed all the shutters, plunging the room into darkness and confusing Lily. She had no idea what he was up to. It was pitch black, so she figured no one could see her anyway and didn't think much of it. Outside, the young leopard grinned to himself. This way, no other males can see her. In the darkness, Lily took off her clothes. Parker happened to turn his head and saw a sight that felt like discovering a new world. His eyes widened and his heart nearly flew out of his chest. So this is what it feels like to have a female. He clutched his head like a madman, muttering, Am I going to become one of those brain-dead beastmen who loses his mind over a female? As Lily bathed, she felt a strange atmosphere. She turned to look toward the door, and at that moment, her flawless body and smooth skin were in full view of the young leopard. He blushed furiously, drool dripping from his mouth. Startled, Lily scrambled in the tub and screamed, There's a pervert! Hearing this, Parker immediately transformed into a cheetah and bolted, diving headfirst into the river. He tried to control his primal urges, but no matter what, he couldn't calm down. After tears welled up in Lily's eyes, as she covered her face in shame, wishing she could dig a hole and crawl into it. Just then the young leopard walked back in. Lily glared at him with her teary almond-shaped eyes. Parker scratched his head sheepishly. So, shall we go to sleep? Lily sighed in resignation and asked where he was going to sleep. Parker led her to a straw bed he'd prepared, then hopped on right after her, holding her tightly and trying to cuddle. Lily struggled, but it was no use. The young leopard tilted her chin up. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. His words sent a jolt of fear through her, and she started kicking and punching him wildly. But the more she fought, the tighter he held her. After a 2-hour battle, he failed to cross the final line. The young leopard had to give in, suppressing his burning desire and quietly holding her as they slept. Lily's heart pounded in her chest, and she didn't dare move, feeling both scared and excited. She ended up staying in one position, wide awake until morning. The next day, Lily woke with a start, only to find that the young leopard had licked her awake. He was lying beside her like a puppy. Your face is so soft, One lick and it turns red. Lily was speechless, covering her mouth as she stared at him, saying, "Why are you naked again? Put some clothes on, it's so embarrassing." Parker turned to go find some mud to put on her face, convinced she was too beautiful to take outside without being snatched away. Lily was exasperated. Was it a crime to be pretty? I just got my face clean. I'm not putting mud on it again. She took an eyeliner pencil from her bag and dotted freckles all over her cheeks. She thought it would turn her from a fairy into a goblin, but it somehow made her look even cuter. The simple-minded leopard, however, was as happy as a child, thinking she looked ugly enough now that no one else would want her. He happily took her hand and led her out to explore this strange world. When they arrived at the market, they immediately drew a crowd of males. The handsome beastmen were stunned when they saw the fair-skinned, long-legged Lily. Lily saw all the attractive men and thought about asking for their help to escape. But she didn't know anyone and felt awkward approaching them. Just then, she saw a few females nearby. She went over to greet them, hoping to blend in and find an ally. Meanwhile, Odora, the woman who was obsessed with Parker, stomped over to Lily. She glared with her dead fish eyes and sneered. "So you're the female Parker picked up with a face full of spots. How can you even compare to me?" She then turned and threw herself into Parker's arms, stroking his muscular chest. "Parker, my fertile time is here. If you want, I'll give you a whole litter of cubs." Hearing this, Odora's existing partners were furious and shouted their objections. Lily suddenly felt a pang of pity for the men here. They had to wait in line to have children, and it all depended on how much their wife liked them. Parker saw Lily looking at the other men with pity and flew into a jealous rage. He pushed Odora away. "Thank you for the offer, but I already have a partner." His words made Odora grind her teeth in hatred as she roared at Lily. Odora stared at Lily with venom in her eyes, taunting her for being underdeveloped and not having a mating season. Lily had had enough. "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Why don't you take a good look at yourself? With your pot-bellied, dead fish eyes and upturned nose, my pet pig Peppa is cuter than you. You already have several partners, yet you're trying to have another man's babies. How pathetic." Odora was speechless. Her partners cheered Lil on. She told you it would be amazing to be her partner. This made Odora even more furious. "You're just saying that to get the attention of the males. I bet you can't even have children, so who would want you anyway?" Just then, a pleasant voice cut in. "I would." It was Harvey, the doctor. He had fallen for Lily at first sight and would want her even if she couldn't have children. But Lily only felt gratitude toward him. Without Harvey, her foot would have been ruined. Parker's rival had suddenly appeared, and the two were instantly at each other's throats again. "My woman doesn't need you to like her. Even if she can't have children, I don't care." Harvey ignored him and just told Lily to come to him anytime she needed more herbs. To win Lily's favor, Parker boasted that he had memorized the scent of the herbs and would go gather them himself. Meanwhile, Lily was still thinking about the children issue. Why was Odora so sure I couldn't have any just because I don't have a mating season? Just then, Parker leaned in close and sniffed her. "Lily, you smell so good. Why do you suddenly smell so fragrant?" At that moment, Lily felt a dull ache in her stomach. "Oh no, is my period coming?" She grabbed Parker's arm and urged him to go home. But in the next second, bright red blood trickled down her leg. Everyone saw it and stared in shock. It turned out that menstruation was what they called mating season. Parker was ecstatic. He scooped Lily into his arms, let out a triumphant roar, and with the speed of a guy who's been single for 18 years, vanished from sight. Odora was humiliated yet again, trembling with rage and clenching her fists. A nearby woman tried to calm her down, but she wouldn't listen. She knocked over the woman's flower basket, her eyes filled with murderous intent. "Lily, just you wait." As soon as they got home, Parker was eager to mate with Lily and have cubs. Lily quickly dodged him, saying she was underage and giving birth would be dangerous. Parker was skeptical. "Doesn't your mating season mean you're an adult?" Lily was speechless. She asked Parker how old the females here were when they got their first period. Parker stated matter of factly that they were usually 15 or 16 and it only happened once a year. Hearing this, Lily could have cried with envy. The next day, the thoughtful young leopard brought Lily some cotton to use as a sanitary pad. It was much more comfortable and solved her problem. Lily patted his head. Good boy. Parker also brought back a lot of delicious meat to help her replenish her strength. Seeing all the food made her mouth water. Why is there so much good food today? Parker dekhe ravenously. Because you're on your period, so we both need to build up our strength. Lily was confused. She was losing blood, so she needed it. But what was this simple-minded leopard building his strength for? Parker grinned mischievously. To have the energy to mate with you and make babies, of course. The moment Lily's period ended, the young leopard was eager to mate and have cubs. This angered Lily, who flatly refused his request. If you try anything funny again, just take me back to the forest. Parker's eyes widened in alarm. You dislike me that much? Seeing his pitiful expression, Lily softened a little. It's not that I dislike you, it's just that our relationship isn't at that stage yet. Parker became very serious, warning her that the forest had more than just wild beasts. It also had rogue beastmen who were utterly ruthless. If they catch you, they'll force you to have babies non-stop. If you refuse, they'll beat you half to death. Hearing this, Lily panicked. What are rogue beastmen? Why are they so terrifying? Rogues are the cold-blooded beastmen that females don't like, such as snake men and lizard men. Lily's legs felt like jelly, and a chill ran down her spine. She shook her head frantically, saying she wouldn't leave. Seeing that she had given up on running away, the young leopard couldn't control himself and tried to get close to her again. Lily didn't know what to do with this persistent leopard and resorted to her ultimate move. Cooing softly. Parker, let's work on our relationship first before we think about other things. Parker's face was a mask of frustration. He wasn't listening, seeing that he was thinking like a beast. Lily got angry and stormed out of the house to cool off. She wandered to the outskirts of the village and found a type of wild vegetable that could be eaten raw. As she was enjoying her snack, she stepped on a weak patch of ground and fell into a hole. Luckily, it wasn't deep or she would have broken her tailbone. Inside, she found a piece of cloth. It was soft and smooth like silk and had scales on it. It didn't seem like ordinary fabric. She took it back for Parker to identify. He took one look at it and his face went pale, slapping the cloth out of her hand. Seeing his panicked reaction, Lily asked what was so special about it. There's a rogue beast man in the tribe. His words sent a cold sweat down Lily's back. It was just a piece of cloth. What did it have to do with a rogue? Parker explained that it was a snake skin shed by a snake beast man to woo a partner. Parker was furious and wanted to burn it on the spot. But Lily stopped him, insisting it was someone else's property and they should return it. Before Parker could react, she grabbed the snake skin and ran back toward the hole. Halfway there, a snake beast man blocked her path. Who? Who is he? He's so handsome. A tall, red-haired snake beast man with 4 marks on his body appeared before her. She was so captivated by his stunning appearance that she just stood there staring. Just then Parker rushed over, frantic. Lily, get over here. It's dangerous. She snapped back to reality. The handsome man in front of her was a rogue. She panicked and stumbled backward. She almost fell, but the snake beast man caught her, pulling her into an embrace. Lily was still clutching the snake skin tightly. Seeing his shed skin in her hand, the snake beast man thought she liked him. He gently caressed her face. You're very beautiful. You don't have any partner's marks. Are you still underage? Falling into a snake beast man's den could get a girl captured or worse. The young leopard transformed into a fierce beast to save her. But he was no match for the snake man. He was sent flying by the snake's tail, landing in a daisies. For the woman he loved, he ignored all warnings and forced himself to stand up and fight back. Seeing Parker get hurt while fighting for her, Lily screamed for him to run. But the determined leopard let out a loud roar, a signal for help. The strong men of the tribe rushed to the scene, but when they were about to charge, they froze in their tracks. This was no ordinary snake beast man. He was a four-marked beast, a warrior of incredible power. In the entire city of beasts, there were only 4 such individuals. For Lily, Parker fought on despite his injuries, determined to save her. But his bravery lasted only a few seconds before he was instantly overpowered. The snake wrapped its tail around his neck, squeezing tightly until he couldn't move, whimpering in pain. Watching the young leopard risk his life for her, Lily's eyes filled with tears. As Parker was about to pass out, she couldn't hold it in any longer. "You fool!" Tears streamed down her face as she pounded on the snake beastman's muscular chest, begging him to let the leopard go. Seeing her cry until her voice was hoarse and her hands were red, the snake man felt an unexpected pang of sympathy and frowned. He gently wiped her tears away, promising to release the leopard. His cold face softened as he bowed his head and kissed her eyes. "Don't cry, I will do as you say." Parker, who had been on the brink of death, was finally spared. The snake man turned, holding Lily, and headed back to his cave. Before he left, he issued a warning. "If you don't want to die, don't follow me." Parker collapsed to the ground, weak and filled with regret for failing to protect the one he loved. "Lily, I will get you back." The snake man brought Lily back to his cave. The moment he set her down, she scrambled backward in fear, tears streaming down her face again. Worried about his intentions, she declared she'd rather die than lay snake eggs. The snake man saw her terrified expression and trembling body and was afraid of scaring her more. So he spoke softly. "My name is Curtis. You can call me Snakey. What's your name?" Lily huddled in a corner, silent, just glaring at him. Curtis didn't mind. He started to do on her. "If you won't tell me, I'll call you Lily White. You must be hungry. I'll go get you something to eat." Before he could finish, Lily exploded. "Don't you dare worry about me." Her shout made him freeze. After a long moment, he turned and left to find her food. This surprised Lily. Weren't snakes supposed to be cold-blooded? How could he not get angry and just leave like that? Lily was worried about Parker's injuries when an idea struck her. While the snake was gone, she could escape. She immediately got up and ran for the cave entrance. Curtis, who was out hunting, heard the noise and with lightning speed caught her and wrapped her in his arms, holding her tightly so she couldn't run again. He suddenly smelled a faint scent of blood. He lifted Lily's long leg and saw that her foot was injured. He immediately licked the wound clean, then held her close, blaming himself for not taking her with him. Lily was speechless. One minute he was a raging beast, the next he was this gentle. Just then Curtis noticed something on her face. The freckles she'd drawn with her eyeliner had been smudged by her tears. With a gentle hand, he wiped them all away. The next second he froze, his heart clenching. The ugly duckling had transformed into a swan. Curtis brought back a large white rabbit and handed it to her. "Eat it raw! No need to cook it." The sight of the bloody animal made Lily want to vomit. He really was a cold-blooded animal. She cried that she wouldn't eat raw food. Seeing her pitiful state, Curtis couldn't help but do on her. He butchered the rabbit and started roasting it, telling her to wait. But Lily said she didn't want to eat the bunny, which put him in a difficult position. Then she said she wanted to eat rice, and to her surprise, Curtis agreed. She had expected him to fly into a rage, but he was so obedient. Snakes are terrified of fire, yet he was personally roasting meat for her. He accidentally burned his hand and flinched. When the meat was cooked, he brought it to Lily. She hadn't eaten all day and was starving. To survive, she had to fill her stomach. She didn't want to die of hunger. After she ate, Curtis took her hand. "It's late. Let's go to sleep." His words made her tremble with fear. Was he going to? She immediately pushed him away, claiming she wasn't tired and telling him to sleep first. To her surprise, he was very obedient and coiled up beside her to sleep. After a while, Lily was so tired she started to nod off. She nearly fell over, but Curtis caught her just in time. He then gently pulled her into his embrace, letting her sleep peacefully, coiled up on his body. The next day, Lily opened her eyes to find herself sleeping on a snake. She turned pale with fright, nearly fainting on the spot. Seeing her terrified expression, Curtis was confused. What's wrong? He didn't know that Lily's biggest fear was snakes, no matter how handsome the man was. Curtis seemed to sense her distress and immediately unwrapped himself. You wanted rice, right? I'll take you to the tribe to get some today. Hearing they were going to the tribe, Lily's face lit up. She became incredibly obedient because this was her chance to escape. Meanwhile, Parker had been bedridden since his injury. In his dreams, he kept seeing his beloved woman being mistreated by the snake beast man. He woke up from a nightmare, screaming that he had to go save her. The doctor managed to calm him down. You're seriously injured. If you go now, you'll just be getting yourself killed. Parker was filled with guilt for not protecting her. Just then he thought of someone who might be able to help. His mother, the queen of the city of beasts. With the speed of a guy who's been single for 18 years, he raced to the capital. He knelt before his mother, looking pathetic. Mom, help me. The queen was shocked to see her son so disheveled. My sweet boy, what happened to you? Who beat you so badly I almost didn't recognize you? Parker told her everything about how the snake beast man had stolen Lily and beaten him up. The queen was furious. How dare he? He dared to steal my son's female. I'll have his head. So Curtis took her to the sheep tribe. The sheep were terrified to see them. It wasn't the big bad wolf, but a snake beast man. They trembled in fear. When they saw the beautiful Lily in his arms, the young rams were both jealous and envious. The female in the snake beast man's arms is so beautiful. Hearing this, Curtis shot them a sharp glare. You dare covet my female? You're asking for death. With a single swipe of his tail, he sent them flying. Curtis went to the rice shop and took out a crystal energy stone. The head sheep's eyes lit up at the sight of it. He was so excited he could have cried. A single stone was enough to buy a year's worth of salt for their entire tribe. He danced with joy and told everyone to bring out all their rice. Lily was also stunned. Such a small stone could be exchanged for a whole tribe's worth of rice. Suddenly she felt dizzy and fainted. Curtis quickly caught her, saving her from hitting her head. Her mind went blank. Curtis held her, so worried he was on the verge of tears, like a child who had made a mistake. After a while, Lily finally woke up. Did I just faint? Hearing a commotion outside, she sat up. It was the old sheep elder scolding Curtis for not taking good care of her. Lily went outside and said she was fine. Curtis rushed over to support her. It's nothing, you just caught a cold last night. The sheep elder was furious and chewed Curtis out. Lily was speechless. Women in this world are so fragile. I just have a cold and low blood sugar and they're acting like I'm on my deathbed. The elder brought Lily some ginger soup. If you don't feel well in the future, you have to say so. Snake beast men don't care about females. You'll only suffer in silence. Lily was grateful, but Curtis looked like he wanted to swallow the old sheep whole. Seeing that Lily was okay, Curtis picked her up and said goodbye to the elder. On the way, Lily's stomach grumbled with hunger. She was so hungry, she felt like she could eat Curtis himself. Hearing her stomach, Curtis took out a bag of rice and told her to eat it raw. Lily shot him an incredulous look. Are you kidding me? Curtis was confused. Did rice need to be roasted too? Lily was dumbfounded. If a snake knew how to cook, pigs could fly. Lily was wondering what to cook with. When she spotted some bamboo up ahead, she was overjoyed. They could have bamboo tube rice. She told Curtis she needed to break off a piece to hold the rice. Curtis simply swiped his finger and the bamboo was cut cleanly. Lily was amazed. Are his fingernails made of blades? Seeing her surprised look, Curtis said his scales were very sharp and offered to pull one off for her as a souvenir. Lily thought he was joking, but he seriously plucked a scale from his body and handed it to her, telling her to be careful. The moment she took it, she cut her finger. Curtis immediately put her injured finger in his mouth to clean it and sternly told her to take better care of herself or he would take the scale back. Lily panicked and shouted, "No, you gave it to me, so it's mine. You can't take it back." She promised to be more careful. A smile crept across Curtis's face. She likes my scale. Does this mean she's starting to like me? Lily pulled the bamboo tube from the fire but accidentally burned her hand. Luckily, her snake companion was there. With a flick of his finger, a truly cool move, the bamboo tube split open, revealing fragrant snow-white rice. After they ate, they continued on their way back to the cave. Back in the cave, Curtis, shirtless and showing off his 18-pack abs, beckoned her over. Lily huddled in a corner, trembling, but his tail shot out and wrapped around her. He pulled her into his arms, his gaze mesmerizing. Lily struggled. "What do you want?" But it turned out he just wanted to make her a new dress so she wouldn't be cold. Seeing Lily hesitate, he didn't wait. With lightning speed, he tore off her flimsy clothes and flung them hundreds of feet away. Lily covered her chest in shock. "You perverted snake! You're horrible!" She huddled in a corner and burst into tears. Curtis rushed to comfort her. "I'm sorry, did I hurt you?" He put his arm around her shoulders, which felt surprisingly good. Lily quickly moved away, pressing herself against a rock to cover up, wishing she could cook him into a soup. Curtis reached out to help her up, but she clung to the rock, refusing to move. He sighed in frustration. He didn't want to be a brute and promised not to touch her. With tears in her eyes, Lily finally relaxed a bit. "You threw my clothes away. How am I supposed to get up?" Curtis slowly approached again. But the moment he extended his hand, she flinched. Seeing that she was unmovable, he finally gave up. "If you are not afraid of getting sick and dying from the cold, then you can just stay naked." That did it. Lily panicked and quickly stood up right in front of him. Her mind went blank. Curtis leaned in curiously and poked her chest with his finger, which made her explode in anger. "You perverted beast!" The insult confused him. He asked what a pervert was. Lily shot back, "A pervert is a creep like you. Are you going to make the clothes or not?" Seeing that she was willing to wear clothes he made, Curtis was so happy he could have cried. He took a piece of snake skin, cut a slit in it, and just like that, a new shirt appeared, looking as if it had been conjured by magic. Lily put on the new shirt. It was comfortable but a little loose. If it were a bit tighter, it would fit perfectly. Hearing this, Curtis told her to wait and immediately went outside. He was looking for some kind of plant thorn to use as a pin for sewing. Lily never thought the coal snake beast man would know how to do needlework. Watching his serious expression, her heart fluttered. He's actually quite handsome when you look closely. Curtis suddenly looked up and met her gaze with a hint of tenderness. She's been watching me. She must like me. She's just too shy to admit it. Lily quickly turned away, her face flushing. She couldn't believe she had been caught, swooning over a perverted beast. How embarrassing. After the dress was adjusted, it fit perfectly. But then Curtis pointed to her skirt and told her to take it off. Lily was shocked. It turned out he just wanted to make her a new skirt. She flatly refused, afraid he would poke her again. She tried to make excuses, but under his threats and temptations, she finally gave in. Curtis handed her the finished skirt. In her new outfit, Lily looked like a goddess, but the skirt was too loose and she felt a bit exposed underneath. She gestured a triangle shape with her hands, indicating she wanted a pair of matching underwear. Curtis readily agreed. Meanwhile, Parker's friends found Lily's old clothes and caught the lingering scent on it. Their leaders sniffed the air and caught the scent of a snake. They must be nearby. Split up and find them. Curtis grabbed Lily and jumped into the water, covering her mouth. After climbing ashore, Lily demanded to know why he did that, saying she wanted to go back to the tribe. Curtis's face was full of reluctance. "Because I want to confess to you. You're my everything. If you leave, I'll be devastated." But his words didn't move her. They only made her angrier. "Who's your everything, you perverted beast?" His words hurt Curtis like 1,000 ant bites. Lily panicked, seeing the look in his eyes. Oh no, is he angry? But Curtis was surprisingly patient. He wasn't angry at all. Instead, he checked her clothes. Let me feel your clothes. Good, they're not wet. Snakeskin is waterproof, so you shouldn't get cold. Seeing his reaction, Lily felt a pang of guilt and turned away. I'm hungry. Go get the rice. Curtis immediately went to get it, but then hesitated. When she called out to him, if you run into those people looking for me again, what will you do? He replied firmly, I'll kill them all. The answer sent a shiver down her spine to prevent him from running into them. She said she wasn't hungry for rice anymore and told him to just catch some fish instead. Suddenly, Curtis sensed danger. A large black eagle was diving toward them from above. He quickly pushed Lily into a clearing and the eagle missed. Curtis then transformed into a giant python, seemingly unstoppable, and shot into the sky. He bit down hard on the eagle's wing. Even if it didn't kill it, the eagle would be out of commission for a while. The eagle's cry reached its companions, who rushed to its aid with the speed of an 80-year-old bachelor. They angrily demanded that Curtis hand over Lily. His face darkened, his eyes filled with fury, just when they thought he was about to unleash his wrath. He lunged toward Lily, grabbed her hand and shouted, "Let's go!" He then dove into the water, and by the time the others arrived, they were gone. That night, Lily sat by the fire and asked Curtis what would happen to the eagle he had bitten. "It will die." His words made her panic. "Why will it die? You only bit its wing." It turned out the eagle had been poisoned by Curtis's venom. Even as a 3-marked beast, it stood no chance. Lily urged him to give her the antidote. Curtis was surprised. "How did you know there was an antidote?" He then flicked his tail in front of her. A scale on his tail was the antidote. It's too late. He's already on his way to the underworld. Lily immediately plucked the scale from his tail. Curtis winced in pain but smiled through it. "It's okay as long as you're happy." Lily's heart was touched. She felt a strange fondness for him, thinking maybe he wasn't so bad after all. But the next moment, he pulled her into his arms, saying it was time to sleep and that he wanted to run away with her. Far from all this trouble, Lily's feelings were complicated. If they left, it would be even harder for Parker to find her. Curtis also said he wanted her to lay a clutch of snake eggs every year. The females here only got their period once a year and had 1 litter, but Lily got hers every month. How many clutches would that be? The thought made her skin crawl. Suddenly, a tiger attacked them. In that life or death moment, Curtis teleported, pulling Lily into his embrace. With a powerful swing of his tail, he sent the tiger flying, then coiled around its neck, strangling it to death. The sight reminded Lily of how he had done the same to Parker, and she couldn't help but start to cry, trembling with fear. Curtis immediately rushed to her side, holding her gently. "Don't be afraid. I'm here. It's okay." His words sent a warm feeling through her heart, one she found hard to resist. As if on cue, the sky opened up and a thunderstorm began. Curtis took her hand and happily led her into a cave. He gently stroked her hair, a worried look on his face. Lily asked him what was wrong. Seeing her drenched hair, he said he wanted to cut it. Lily was horrified. "My hair is my life. You are absolutely not cutting my hair." Curtis tried to reason with her, saying she'd get sick if she didn't. But Lily refused, saying she washed her hair all the time and never got sick. Unable to convince her, he gave up and asked if she wanted to eat the tiger meat. The thought of eating a tiger made Lily's stomach turn. "No, you can eat it." The idea of him eating the tiger raw sent a shiver down her spine. Meanwhile, the poisoned black eagle was on the verge of death. With his last breath, he ordered his men to save Lily. Just when they were at a loss, another companion arrived with a piece of snake's skin. When the eagle realized that Lily had not abandoned it, a look of adoration filled his eyes. That night, Curtis held Lily as they slept, but she woke up shivering, her throat dry and sore. A large hand reached out and gently pulled her into an embrace. Lily pushed him away, now wide awake. The night air was freezing. She told Curtis to start a fire. They huddled by the fire, and Curtis leaned in, whispering in her ear, "Let's play the cuddling game." Lily vehemently refused. She didn't want to lay snake eggs. An idea formed in her mind. This snake is domineering, but he's also gentle with me. If I say I'm not feeling well, he probably won't force me. She deliberately pretended to stumble, acting weak. But Curtis just scooped her up, assuming she had caught a chill. If you're cold, the cuddling game will warm you up. Let's start now, Lily yelled in a panic. What if I'm cold and tired and the cuddling game kills me? Curtis thought about it and decided she had a point. He hesitated. Seeing his indecision, Lily shouted, All you care about is me laying eggs for you. You don't care if I live or die. Her words hit him hard. It's not true. As long as you're okay, I don't care about the children. If anything happened to you, I would be devastated. To get away from him, she came up with a plan. Poison him with mushrooms so she could escape. At the same time, she couldn't bear the thought of actually killing him. But for her freedom, she cooked up a pot of poisonous red and white mushrooms. Worried the mushrooms were toxic, Curtis snatched them and ate them first, afraid she would be poisoned. He tried one of each kind to make sure they were safe for her. After eating them, his eyes widened. He felt a wave of dizziness and then he collapsed to the ground, clutching his stomach and trembling as if death was upon him. Lily covered her mouth in horror. Were they really poisonous? Curtis was in agony, writhing on the ground before transforming into his snake form and letting out a pained hiss. Lily stood by terrified, shouting his name and begging him to hold on. She was overwhelmed with guilt, but the thought of escaping still crossed her mind. This was a golden opportunity. After a fierce internal struggle, she couldn't bring herself to leave him. Finally, Curtis started to calm down. Seeing that she hadn't taken advantage of his weakness or run away, he was overjoyed. When the poison wore off, he shifted back into his human form and gently comforted her. I'm glad you didn't eat any. I would have been heartbroken. His words stunned her. He wasn't blaming her. He was worried about her. She finally broke down and cried, telling him how sorry she was for poisoning him. Curtis held her and whispered, As long as you're okay, I ruined your food. I'm just happy you're not mad at me. Tears streamed down her face again. You're such an idiot. Being called an idiot by the woman he loved made Curtis laugh with joy. Lily quickly checked his injuries, wondering how to treat them. He took her hand and led her back to their cozy cave. Lily suddenly felt that Curtis was better than 80% of the men in her world. When they reached the cave entrance, they were shocked to see it was a complete mess. Curtis told Lily to wait outside while he cleaned up, but she refused to let him do it alone, picking up some firewood and insisting on helping. As Curtis watched the kind, hard-working girl, he fell for her even more. Lily accidentally stepped on a hot coal. Curtis immediately scooped her up. You're so careless. Did you get burnt? She smiled through the pain and said she was fine. He sat her down on a rock and lifted her foot to check it. Sit still and don't move or I'll kiss you. Lily froze instantly. Seeing her reaction, he frowned. Do you really hate my kisses that much? The next second, he grabbed her hand and planted a firm kiss on it. Curtis stole a kiss while Lily wasn't paying attention, leaving her completely stunned. A moment later, she snapped out of it. You perverted snake. Meanwhile, Parker was going crazy looking for Lily. He clutched a piece of her discarded clothing, his heart aching with worry. He couldn't wait any longer. Even with his injuries, a man had to be responsible. He transformed into a leopard and ran off to find her. Lily, I'm coming to save you. At the same time, Lily was dreading the arrival of her period. She glanced at Curtis. He would definitely demand to cuddle. Then, what was she going to do? Curtis noticed her strange mood and thought she was hungry. He started preparing food, but Lily was too anxious to eat. An idea struck her. She went to the river and slowly waded in. The icy water made her shiver. So cold. She was trying to make herself sick to delay her period. Definitely not something to try at home. Suddenly, she looked back at the shore and saw that Curtis was gone. Had he gone off for a snack? The next moment, he burst out of the water and wrapped his arms around her. his eyes full of affection. Lily, however, was scared out of her wits. She pushed him away and told him to go watch the fire so the rice wouldn't burn. With a splash, he dove back into the water only to resurface a second later and pull her onto his back. They raced across the river's surface, a thrilling ride that made her forget all her worries. A few days later, Curtis took Lily to a beautiful, fragrant place. But he suddenly felt that something was wrong. Seeing his tense expression, Lily also grew worried. It was the black eagle watching them from above. Seeing that Curtis was some distance away from Lily, he dove toward her with lightning speed. Lily felt a chill behind her and turned to see the massive bird hurtling toward her. The eagle was incredibly fast. Curtis desperately wrapped himself around her, his body getting scratched by the eagle's talons. He quickly moved her to a safe spot and then lunged at the bird. The eagle dodged, but Curtis's tail swipe caught it off guard, though it managed to avoid a fatal blow. The eagle threatened that if Curtis didn't hand Lily over, he would kill her himself. Lily saw through his bluff. He can't save me, so he's going to kill me to threaten Curtis. That's so fake. His words infuriated Curtis, who shielded Lily. You dare? The eagle repeated his threat, saying, if he killed her, everyone would blame Curtis. By now, Curtis was burning with rage. He opened his massive jaws. Anyone who harms Lily will die. He lunged at the eagle again, but the bird managed to escape. As it flew away, the eagle called back. Saving her might be hard, but killing her will be easy. Just moments before, Parker had finally found the woman he'd been dreaming of. Lily was overjoyed to see him. Curtis quickly pulled her into an embrace, terrified that Parker would take her away. He glared at Parker. I should have killed you when I had the chance. But Parker called for a truce. Lily is in danger. A herd of giant beasts is heading this way. He insisted he was only there to protect her. Curtis scowled and ignored him. Carrying Lily back to his cave, he lifted her up. Sleep on my body, it's more comfortable. Lily was speechless. He was clearly showing off for Parker, who was still outside the cave. Hearing Curtis's words, Parker was so jealous he could have slapped him, his claws digging deep scratches into the rock. Damn you, snake beast, Lily is mine. With two handsome men guarding her, Lily slept soundly. The next morning, she was woken by a loud rumbling. When she went outside, she was stunned. Her jaw dropped. A group of dinosaurs was roaring nearby. Oh my god, are those dinosaurs? She quickly hid behind Curtis, trembling. Parker peeked his head over a rock above them. Don't be afraid, Lily, I'll protect you. Curtis shot him a dark look. Lily could only manage an awkward smile. Knowing Parker was trespassing on Curtis's territory, yet Curtis was only angry and hadn't attacked. Her stomach rumbled, so she went to the river to wash some rice. Suddenly, she saw something in the water. The reflection of an eagle. Was it the black eagle? The next second, a giant egg fell from the sky and hit her, making her yelp, "That stupid eagle! Is he trying to kill me with an egg?" Curtis sniffed the egg and without a word pushed Lily into the water and started scrubbing her frantically. You stupid snake! First the egg and now you're trying to drown me! Seeing this, Parker transformed and charged, but Curtis yelled, "If you don't want her to die, stay back." Curtis washed Lily from head to toe before pulling her out of the water. Parker stopped, relieved. Curtis explained that it was the egg of a giant beast king. The eagle was trying to lure the beast to them, so Curtis would have to give up Lily. Sure enough, a thunderous noise approached. Parker ran ahead, panting, his limbs growing weak. He leaped into a tree, remembering at the last second that leopards could climb. Curtis, carrying Lily, was chased by the beast for miles. The smell of the king's egg on Lily was driving her crazy. To protect her, he ran until he was exhausted. Seeing his fatigue, Lily felt bad and told him to rest. But Curtis was terrified the beast would catch up and kept running, sweat pouring down his face. Lily was worried she was slowing him down. She could feel his arms trembling as he held her tightly. Curtis saw her concern, leaned in and kissed her, telling her not to worry. Lily told him to put her down, but he confessed his love instead. "I will never give you up. Even if I die, I'll get you to safety first. Curtis bit a rabbit's neck and fed its blood to Lily. She had been chased by the giant beast all day without food or water and was dehydrated and on the verge of collapse. After accidentally drinking the rabbit's blood, Lily choked and coughed, asking what he had given her. When she saw the dead rabbit nearby, she realized he had fed her raw blood. Why did you make me drink raw blood? That's so unsanitary. Curtis thought she was just being picky and reached out to help her up. Lily was speechless. Raw blood wasn't part of a human diet. How was that picky? She turned her head away angrily, refusing to drink anymore. So Curtis resorted to force, drinking the rest of the rabbit's blood and feeding it to her mouth to mouth. The next second, a loud smack echoed as she slapped him across the face. She immediately regretted it. She shouldn't have hit him in the face. Would he be angry? But instead of a storm of fury, all she got was a gurgle from her own stomach. Curtis wasn't angry at all. Instead, he worriedly asked if her hand hurt and offered to blow on it. Lily felt disgusting, reeking of blood from head to toe. Curtis immediately carried her to the river. She washed herself thoroughly, but she couldn't get rid of the beast egg scent. Curtis picked her up to continue their escape, but Lily was at her limit. She asked him to give her to the black eagle. Curtis held her tighter. You belong to me, and me alone. I won't allow you to have any other males. Lily quickly explained that she only wanted one partner, and if she chose him, she wouldn't choose anyone else. Curtis picked her up, refusing to listen. Don't say another word. I'm not letting you go. Just then, the black eagle appeared with lightning speed. You're going to get her killed, Curtis gritted his teeth. You're the one who will get her killed. You damned black chicken! The eagle was speechless. I am a divine eagle, not a black chicken. Besides, you can't escape. The giant beasts have surrounded this area. If you try to force your way through, you'll die. Curtis held Lily tighter, his hands trembling with rage. Lily, exhausted, weakly cried out in pain. Curtis realized he had been holding her too tightly. Just then, a herd of giant beasts charged. Curtis wrapped his tail around a tree and launched them into its branches. The eagle roared at him. Give Lily to me. Do you want her to die with you? Curtis gently caressed Lily's face, his eyes full of reluctance. Suddenly, he put his hand on her neck. Lily's eyes widened in fear and confusion. What? What is he doing? Tears streamed down her face as she squeezed her eyes shut, waiting for death. No, it was because he couldn't bear to part with her. But he knew he had to send her away with the black eagle. Lily's face broke into a smile. If I leave, the giant beast will go away and we can all survive. You can come find me in the tribe later. Curtis suddenly bit down hard on her chest. She yelped and clutched the spot. What did you do to me? Losing all control, he pinned her against the tree, leaving her speechless. Is he going to? A scream tore from her throat and she fainted from the shock. Black Eagle appeared in a flash. Curtis handed Lily to him, telling him to get her to safety. As he watched her disappear, Curtis's heart was a mess of emotions. I will come for you. The Black Eagle took her to a safe area where the giant beasts couldn't easily find them. Lily looked at him meaningfully. Are you the eagle that dropped the giant egg on me? The eagle looked guilty, afraid she would be angry. But instead Lily said a thank you. This surprised him. You're not mad at me. Lily smiled, saying she knew he did it to save her and that she was grateful. The eagle was so moved he almost cried, bowing his head in shame. Just as he set her down to rest, Parker burst out of nowhere, happily licking her face until it was soaking wet. Lily wanted to throttle him. As if that wasn't enough, he pulled her into an embrace and nuzzled her cheek. Lily suddenly felt a sharp pain in her chest. Parker noticed and asked if the snake had hurt her. Lily grew nervous. If he finds out Curtis bit my chest, he'll rip my clothes off to check. Parker then noticed a snake-like mark on her foot. He immediately got agitated, demanding to mate with her so he could leave his own beast mark on her. Lily flatly refused, pushing him away and crying that she didn't want anyone. Her heart was just filled with pain. The eagle wasn't wearing any underwear. A breeze blew by, and Lily didn't know where to look. That night, while Parker was asleep, Lily gathered her courage. You can come inside to sleep. The eagle froze, completely stunned. Lily blushed, realizing he must have misunderstood. The way relationships worked in this world was just too direct. She quickly explained she just thought it was too cold outside and didn't want him to freeze. Nothing more. The eagle hopped inside and lay down beside her, his eyes full of a soft tenderness. Lily then leaned against the leopard and fell asleep. The next day, the simple-minded leopard yawned and stretched, happy that he had gotten to hold Lily while she slept. But the next second, he exploded. The black eagle was sleeping inside too. He was furious. Just as he was about to attack, Lily stopped him. I told him to come in. The leopard was shocked, feeling utterly betrayed. Are you going to become his mate? Lily quickly explained it was just too cold and she was worried he'd turn into an ice sculpture. The leopard breathed a sigh of relief. You hear that? She doesn't want you as a mate. She just didn't want you to freeze. The eagle looked disappointed. I know I don't need a S like you to remind me. He then shifted into his human form. Lily stared, her eyes wide. He was actually pretty cool. Seeing this, Parker grabbed her and said to the eagle, always showing off. The eagle just rolled his eyes and turned away, completely ignoring him. Lily was being suffocated and pummeled Parker's face with her fists. Let me go, you're hurting me. He quickly let go. Sorry, I was just so excited. Did I hurt you? He tried to nuzzle her again, but she pushed him away. But then he just started rubbing against her hand. Lily wanted to slap him. If you don't behave, I'll have you neutered. I figured out a way to avoid the giant beasts. We can cover me in mud to hide the egg scent and then we can escape. The eagle nodded, agreeing it was a good idea. Parker immediately snuggled up to her again. My Lily is so smart. The eagle couldn't stand being the third wheel and went to find mud. The simple leopard made a face at him. Lily rolled her eyes, so childish. To please her, Parker went to find food. After he left, Lily looked at the bite mark from Curtis. It was almost healed. He bit me so deeply. How is it healing so fast? Did he pass some of his powerful healing ability to me? She touched the beast mark on her leg, feeling like she had formed some unusual connection with Curtis. Suddenly, a roar echoed nearby. Parker was facing off against a massive beast. The beast caught Lily's scent and charged toward her. Parker leaped onto its neck and bit down hard. The beast roared in pain, shaking its head violently to throw him off. Parker was flung to the ground but immediately got up and lunged again, seeing him risk his life for her every time she was in danger. Lily's eyes filled with tears. The beast thrashed wildly but Parker held on tight. He then jumped onto its back. The beast was shocked. Don't you dare! I'm not a female! Before it could react, Parker bit down and started tearing at it. The beast shrieked, You monster! Why are you pulling my fur? Finally, the beast collapsed, twitching. Now was the time to finish it. Parker didn't know how to kill the behemoth, so Lily handed him the snake skin. He found the right spot and with one slice ended the beast's life. Looking at the scale, Parker marveled. Wow! This thing is sharp. But the next second, he tossed it on the ground. Lily carefully picked it up and hid it behind her back. By the way, I heard Curtis say that giant beasts have energy crystals inside them. Sure enough, Parker found a blue crystal. Lily was surprised. Is this the beast's crystal? Why does it look different from Curtis's? Parker explained that it was a blue crystal which could save lives, while green crystals could extend one's lifespan. Lily was shocked again. They could extend your life. That's right. That's why beautiful females choose powerful beast men as partners. They have them hunt giant beasts so they can stay young forever. Wow. So the males here were all fighting for their females. By now the eagle had returned with the mud. But a herd of giant beasts, drawn by the scent of their fallen comrade, was approaching. Lily quickly covered herself in mud. Parker sniffed her and said the scent was much weaker. The beast shouldn't be able to smell her from a distance. Lily climbed onto the eagle's back. They were about to take Parker with them, but he suddenly got stubborn. If I ask for help from another male, Lily will think I'm weak. Don't worry about me. I'll figure something out. The eagle was more than happy with this arrangement and took off. Parker faced the massive beast without fear. The beasts were dumbfounded. Dude, could you be any more obvious? Are you afraid we won't see you? While the beasts were distracted, Parker popped the crystal into his mouth, transformed into a cheetah and sprinted, leaping off a cliff. The beasts followed, but the ones in the back pushed the front ones off. Seeing Parker was safe, Lily breathed a sigh of relief. Just then, a majestic leopard, riding an eagle, flew toward them. It was the Leopard King, Parker's father. He transformed into a man and ordered, "Send an eagle to pick up my son." He then turned to Lily, looking his daughter-in-law up and down. Their eyes met, and Lily was startled, quickly greeting him. "Hello, I'm Lily. As long as you're safe, we'll talk back in the city." They returned to the city of beasts. Parker immediately lifted Lily off the eagle's back and rushed her to his room. Watching them go, the eagle looked crestfallen. As soon as he set her down, Parker started wagging his tail like an excited puppy. Just then, a beautiful young woman walked in. Lily was wondering who she was. When Parker called out, "Mom!" Lily was petrified. Only when she saw them embraced did she reluctantly accept the truth. Still in disbelief, Lily asked, "Are you really Parker's mother?" "That's right. I'm that silly leopard's mom. Don't I look young?" Lily nodded vigorously, saying she looked like she was 18. Parker's mother explained it was all thanks to the Leopard King, who hunted giant beasts for their energy crystals to keep her young. Lily then asked the queen how to break a partner bond. When the queen asked if she was sure, she hesitated. If she broke her bond with Curtis, he would be abandoned forever and could never have another partner. She felt a pang of guilt, but then she remembered him biting her in the tree and made up her mind. The queen brought her a bowl of medicine. After a moment's hesitation, Lily drank it all, only to spray it all over Parker's handsome face. "What is this? It's bitter than bitter melon." The queen sighed. "It's to prevent you from having a rogue's cubs." Lily's mind went blank. She had never even done that with Curtis. How could she be pregnant? Then she remembered what he had said about the snake trib's special mating ritual, which didn't require physical intimacy. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through her stomach and blood trickled from her foot. Parker saw it and yelled, "Why is her foot bleeding?" The queen panicked and ran to get a doctor. But Lily knew it was just her period and told Parker to get her some cotton. The doctor the queen brought was useless. A beast man doctor treating a human was a joke. He couldn't figure out what was wrong and just told her to drink some honey water. Seeing how much pain she was in, the queen suggested she deal with the partner bond later. But Lily insisted she could handle it and wanted it done now. The queen sighed and told her that all she had to do was cut the beast mark with a sharp blade and it would disappear. However, if she had developed feelings for Curtis, the mark wouldn't vanish and the bond couldn't be broken. Lily didn't know what she felt for him. She took the snake skin from around her neck, her hand trembling, steeling herself. She sliced the mark on her foot. At the same time, a sharp pain shot through Curtis's heart. She must be nearby. Just then, Parker returned with the honey. When he saw the bandage on Lily's foot, he was overjoyed, thinking she had broken the bond. Lily's heart irked, seeing his face covered in bee stings. But he just smiled, saying it was worth it to do anything for her. The next second, his smile vanished. Lily told him she couldn't break the bond with Curtis. His heart shattered. He picked up the honey, tossed it to her, and ran out the door. He knew that if the bond couldn't be broken, it meant she had feelings for him. He ran right into his mother. Tears of betrayal in his eyes, he cried, "Mom!" and then ran off. The queen, sensing something was wrong, followed him and asked what had happened. When she found out, she comforted him. "You're being a bit selfish. Once a female breaks a bond, the male is alone for life, living in constant pain." After his mother's talk, he finally let it go. He went back to Lily with some cotton and even offered to help her put it on. which scared her so much she scrambled away. He followed her. What's wrong with helping my own partner? Lily pushed him away and told him to get some water. He was still insistent on helping her. She instinctively kicked him away and turned her back to him. Parker, I don't want to see you right now. Get out. He finally gave up, dejected. Just as he was about to leave to get her food, she stopped him. You need to get those things looked at by a doctor. He immediately brightened up, saying his skin was thick and that he should thank the bees for scratching his itches. He thought to himself, great, she still cares about me. Lily waved him over. Come here, I'll get them out for you. He obediently sat in front of her. She carefully plucked the stingers from his face, making him yelp in pain. You're crying in pain, yet you thanked the bees for scratching you. After she was done, he felt much better. He happily nuzzled her forehead and then licked her cheek, which made her skin crawl. Suddenly, a roar came from outside. They both knew something was wrong. It was the sound of a tiger. Then a girl's voice shouted, Parker, get out here, I know you're back. Lily was confused, but Parker just scowled. He went outside to see what was going on, and Lily followed. A girl was sitting on a tiger waiting for him. Parker immediately recognized her as his admirer, Rosa. The girl smiled and asked if he had decided to be her male yet. Parker just looked disgusted. Lily couldn't believe how popular he was. He told Rosa that he'd rather be single forever than be with her because he only had eyes for Lily. Rosa pointed at Lily, a scornful smile on her face. Parker, you're interested in an ugly thing like her? Am I not prettier? Parker angrily stepped in front of Lily. You can mess with me, but don't you dare bully Lily or I'll fight you to the death. Rosa immediately started playing the victim, calling Parker a heartbreaker and claiming he had taken advantage of her in the bushes and was now abandoning her. She then started to sob dramatically. You used me and now you don't want me. You were just playing with me. Her words made several tigers roar at Parker. Lily was stunned by the drama. Parker was furious at the false accusation. It turned out Rosa was only interested in Parker because he was already a two-marked beast right after coming of age, not because she liked him personally. She had deliberately fallen into his arms. Realizing her plan was failing, she got desperate and threatened him, saying the tiger tribe had 2 4-marked beasts and that if he didn't become her partner, he was starting a war between their tribes. Lily saw through her scheme. Just as things were about to escalate, the leopard king and queen arrived. The queen shot back. Our leopard tribe is not to be trifled with. If you want a war, bring it on. Rosa was speechless and could only scoff. But the kind-hearted Parker said he didn't want a war and that the city of beasts should be united. He said he would move out with Lily. He glared at Rosa. One day I'll become a 4-marked beast too and I'll crush your arrogance. Lily was amazed that he was so mature for his age, keeping his cool even after being bullied like that. With no other options, Rosa had to retreat in disgrace. As the scheming woman left, Parker suddenly hugged Lily tightly, desperately explaining that he had never touched Rosa and that she had framed him. Lily said she believed him. If you were that kind of person, you would have already taken advantage of me. This young leopard, an adult, was still peeing wherever he pleased. After he finished, he shifted into his animal form and rolled around on the ground, enraging Lily. Do you want me to neuter you? If you have to pee, go outside. The young leopard's legs clenched and he accidentally peed again out of fear. Lily, at her wits' end, threw something at him, making him yelp. It turned out Parker had smelled another male scent in their house and was trying to mark his territory. He whimpered and begged for forgiveness, but Lily turned away, ignoring him. Dejected, he patted out the door. A little while later, Lily went looking for him, asking where she could find some bamboo. The young leopard suddenly shifted back into his human form, completely naked. Lily quickly covered her face. You perverted leopard, we are in the middle of the tribe. Can't you wear some clothes? The more flustered she got, the more he pushed his luck, leaning in and asking what she needed the bamboo for. Still covering her eyes, she told him to get dressed and find the bamboo. He waved her off, saying he didn't need to, and shifted back into his animal form. He told her to get on his back, and with the speed of a guy who's been single for 18 years, they raced to a bamboo grove. With her nimble fingers, Lily quickly wove a bamboo basket. The young leopard was baffled. "What's that for?" Lily told him to guess, promising a kiss if he was right and a spank on the butt if he was wrong. When they got to the river, Parker realized he had guessed wrong. Damn it, it was for catching fish. Now his butt was in for it. Luckily, he managed to catch a lot of fish, making up for his mistake. Lily was thrilled. Lunch was sorted. On the way back, the bamboo basket in Lily's hand suddenly shattered, and the snake mark on her foot glowed with a golden light. Parker was shocked. When did Lily get so strong? Lily was just as confused. A second later, she collapsed, but Parker caught her just in time, his heart pounding with worry. Just then, a large snake shot out of the water. It was Curtis. They both whipped their heads toward the river. Lily's eyes went wide. He had actually followed them to the tribe. Was he trying to get himself killed? Curtis slowly slithered ashore. Everyone stared at him as if they'd seen a ghost. Parker roared at him. "Stop right there. This is the city of beasts. Even if you manage to snatch Lily, you won't get away with her." The other beastmen closed in, ready to tear the rogue to pieces. Lily's heart was a mess of emotions, and she instinctively hid behind Parker, who wrapped his arms around her protectively. But Curtis didn't attack. He simply placed a bundle of Lily's old clothes in front of them. A chill in his voice. "Take good care of her, or I'll swallow you whole." His words left a strange taste in Lily's mouth. She was worried he would be ganged up on. Curtis just stood there staring at his moonlight before finally turning to leave. As Lily watched him go, she felt a mix of reluctance and fear. But Curtis didn't leave. Since he couldn't take her with him, he decided to stay in the water and watch over her. Lily couldn't stop thinking about him. The look in his eyes told her he was sincere. But she didn't know how to reject Parker. While she was struggling with her thoughts, two large men approached her, praising her beauty and her clever fishing contraption. Lily smiled awkwardly, knowing that if the leopard heard this, there would be a fight. Sure enough, the men started confessing their love, saying they would go through fire and water for her if she would be their female. Lily was scared out of her wits and waved her hands, refusing and saying they weren't a good match physically. Parker charged over, warning the men to stay away. Parker quickly stepped in front of her to protect her, but the men ignored Parker and continued to profess their love to Lily. "Don't be fooled by my size. I'm a gentle giant." This sent Parker into a rage. He handed a bamboo spatula to Lily and told her the fish was ready. Then he rolled up his sleeves and punched one of the men so hard he flew 100 meters. He then charged the man, grabbed his arm before he could fight back, and threw him into the river with a loud splash. Lily watched, stunned. She never knew the lean leopard was so strong. After dealing with the man, he trotted back to Lily, showing off. Lily sighed and told him not to fight so casually anymore. The leopard let out a soft "awoo," promising to be good. Lily patted his head, satisfied. A few days later, Parker was humming on his way back from hunting when he saw someone up ahead. It was Curtis. Parker's blood boiled. Damn snake beast, is he here for Lily? He raced over and blocked his path. "What are you doing here?" "You're not welcome." The young leopard glared at him, but Curtis just ignored him and walked around. Parker was furious. "Hey snake, I'm talking to you. Are you deaf or dumb?" He then zipped past Curtis with lightning speed, ran home and locked the door. Lily told him to open it, saying it was too dark. But Parker just pressed his ear against the door, not responding. Confused, Lily did the same, but heard nothing. She was about to go back to her room when Parker grabbed her hand, begging her to stay. She saw how strange he was acting. "Did you see Curtis?" He hugged her tightly, his voice choked with emotion. "Please don't go. Don't leave me." Lily's heart ached. Darker. "I'm sorry.